It's worth my saying that one of the differences between the hemispheres is that the left hemisphere sees things as either or, whereas the right hemisphere sees them as both and. And we need both either or and both and, not either or both and. So we're not forced to make a decision between these two ways of thinking, but we need them both. And the right hemisphere sees these both. So it sees things as unified, but that their whole nature is differentiation within a nonetheless integral whole, the integrity of which is not threatened by the differentiation within it. So I believe this is a very, very central point. So people say, as you have hinted, oh man, all is one, and I say, yes, and all is many, now what? And, we need both of these positions, because what I believe is going on in the cosmos is that something that was relatively simple and one is unfolding into ever greater complexity that doesn't destroy its wholeness, but spells out the potential that was within that wholeness all along, brings it into being. So the nature of creativity, and that's true of human creativity, but all of nature is creative. And indeed the cosmos is, I believe, creative in that things are evolving, not just in the living world, but they're evolving in the cosmos too. So all of this process is about the unpacking of what was implicit. So going back to David Bohm's famous concept of the implicate order, it is the making explicate of what was implicate without destroying it. And then that new explicateness is implicit for something else. So the image I like to use is that of a bud unfolding. So the bud unfolds into the full flower. As it does, you can see it separating and individuating into the stamens, the petals, and all the rest. But the bud is not destroyed. It is fulfilled in the making of the flower. And the flower inherits what was in the bud and makes it something new and beautiful beyond what the bud could do. So that's the image, really. So everything needs to be individually differentiated and is heading in the direction of that, but not as a denial of its unified nature, but as a fulfillment of its unified nature. Does that make sense?
Well, in order for you to love something, you have to see it as separate from you. Otherwise, you're just loving yourself. So there is something differentiated about love. It's not just about bringing together and making the same.
Exactly.